The mobility loadout. Hey everybody, it's Michael from Asymmetrical Preparedness. I want to talk to you about, people show a lot of different kits. So this is a mobility kit loadout. Lightweight, very maneuverable, fast, being able to do things. If you got to run through that kind of stuff for days on end, up through mountains, whatever kind of terrain there is, not urban, not high threat. This is not a high threat loadout. Although you may end up in a high threat environment. This is a lightweight loadout that maximizes mobility and your ability to move over rough terrain for long periods of time. Very important. Mobility warfare. Hit and run type stuff. If you're in a defensive situation, you may want a higher threat level kit, one with plates. This is a chest rig, not a plate carrier. No plates here. It's just a simple panel chest rig, as you can see, with 3 mag pouches and a knife. Very, very simple. You got to have the gear that you need that fits your skill level and your abilities though. This kit works for me. It may not work for you. So let's go on. What's the rest of the kit? Obviously this is part of the kit. But let's set this down for a second. We're not really talking about this. This is whatever you got that you're good with, that you've practiced with, you've trained with, and whatever works for you. It may be a base model, it may be a really expensive one, it may be a fancy one, it may be in different sizes, than this is. But yeah, whatever you got works for you. All right, set that down. So high mobility, right? Just a simple little plate or chest rig and a hydration bladder. Hydration bladder has some calories. I got about 2 days worth of calories in there. Like I said, this is just lightweight. And what I have in there is like a ration bar. I think it's a Grizzly ration bar and I think a couple power bars, stuff like that. Maybe some energy gels, stuff like that's in there. All right, then what else? What other part of the rig is this? This is battle belt, war belt, whatever you want to call it. I like having a war belt setup because if I got to ditch whatever's up here is usually heavier and it doesn't have all the stuff I need on it. All the stuff I need is on here, is on my belt. This is just 3 mags and a knife. That's all it is. Very, very simple, very, very lightweight. So if I have to ditch it, I have secondary right here. What else do I have on it? Nice Cobra buckle belt. I have primary mags, 2 primary mags, 2 more secondary mags. I have ear pro, I have gloves, I have a dump pouch, rolled up dump pouch, I have an pepper spray, I have an admin kit, and the all important IFAK. IFAKs are very important. I also have an extra tourniquet in my pocket, 2 tourniquets in there, so I got 3 tourniquets on this setup. That's adequate. It's not overkill. I would definitely say it's adequate. Just a sec. Sorry about that. Little one was in the background getting my attention. She needed my help. And I'm sorry, I love you guys, but family comes first. So anyway, I forget where I was now, but light fighter loadout is very important. You don't want to be encumbered by all this gear. Ounces equal pounds, pounds equal pain. Anybody that's been long range backpacking, boots on the ground in a military environment, stuff like that knows that all that stuff adds up. So I like this lightweight loadout. I love this loadout. I train with it all the time. The key points are have a couple extra seed holders. I like having a fighting knife. It's important to me. This is just I forget it's the Gerber. This is the cheap one. This isn't the Strong Arm or the LMF or anything like that. Prodigy, Gerber Prodigy I think it's called. It's a good knife. It works. It's not the best, but and yes, just simple chest rig, just a panel. Hydration is important. Hydration and food. You got to be able to feed yourself and you got to be able to hydrate yourself. And then having a couple extras. So I have 5 plus 1 in the Freedom Seed stick. So I have 6 of those. And then I have 2 secondary backups plus the one in the other thing. Yeah. So that gives me a decent level of capability. Not for extended, it won't fit all situations. This is what works for me in the situation that I think I would be in if I was wearing this equipment, this gear. Along with this, I could also throw on my long-range patrol pack, and I would basically be in a long-range patrol situation because I want this lightweight rig up here. Don't want plates. Other key points are always have an IFAK. Always have an IFAK. And the admin pouch here, this admin pouch, also has my mini Sawyer. It has my lighter, it has my compass, it has camo sticks, it has warmer baklava, an extra pair of gloves. I have actually an extra pair of wool socks in there. What else? Some calories are in there also. Some packages of peanut butter, I like that. So I have stuff like that. I forget all was in there also. There's probably some gun lube. I'm sorry. Freedom Seed Dispensing Device lube. And what else is important? Dump pouch. Dump pouch is important. As a prepper, not as a military unit that has Uncle Sugar replacing all your mags and an extensive supply system and all that stuff like that, you got to be able to retain your mags. You have to. Mags aren't laying all around the ground, and your ability to replenish your mags may be diminished. You may not have that ability, so think about that. That's very important. Ear Pro, important. I like the kind that has the magnified hearing, so that when you're out and about walking or you're stopping and listening, that's an important part of patrolling. Stop and listen. Stop, look, listen, smell, all those kind of things. Yeah. I can turn it up and I can hear a lot, but it does the job for what it's intended for also. Good pair of gloves. These are always dangling here. I always wear these things. One reason why I'm not right now is because they won't work with pushing the camera, starting the camera on and off. Pepper spray, why do I carry pepper spray? Good question. It is a non-lethal option, true, if I need it. But the main thing is if I'm out about doing the things and I got dogs on my trail, spray some of that on my trail, and that'll mess up their noses, and they'll be ineffective. It'll render the dogs ineffective. So you might want to think about that, having some pepper spray on you. But keep it simple. Keep it lightweight. This isn't everything I need to do everything. I know I'm going to get people on here making comments. Oh, well, you need this, you need that, you don't have this, you don't have that. Maybe not. But maybe I don't need that stuff because of my skill sets. Skill sets are more important than gear. And to customize your gear to work for you, not for me, is very important. Your physical ability to carry weight and gear may be less than mine. So maybe you want to carry less gear. Maybe you're a professional triathlete and you're hoo-yah, super in awesome shape, and maybe you can carry more than me. Maybe you want to carry more. Maybe you want more comfort items. I don't have a shelter in this setup. And normally, what would I have? I would always, if I'm taking this setup around here, especially in the winter, I would have a good overlayer, a wind-breaking layer, shell, as well as some other clothing, probably. Maybe even a little, some kind of tarp or something set up. But those kind of things I could tie off and attach back here. In fact, I have. And they don't add much weight. Remember that when you leave to go do whatever you're doing, you think, oh, this is just during the day, and I'll be back. Don't count on that. Murphy's Law, what can go wrong will go wrong. You need to prepare for more than what you're anticipating. Carry the stuff to overnight. Water also. How much water do you need to bring? Well, if I lived in, say, the desert in Arizona in August, I would have a lot more water with me than this. This is a setup, Pacific Northwest, pretty much any time of year. I can get away with this and my Sawyer because there's water everywhere. Tailor your gear to meet your needs. This gear meets my needs, and I just want to show you guys the whole idea and the concept of light fighting, light fighter, Lightfoot. You may have heard that term. Very important. The United States, and we don't really have, most militaries in the world nowadays don't really have a light infantry. They've become heavy infantry due to all the gear that's piled on them. We as preppers are not military. We need to have the ability to fight light. We need the stuff on us that'll help us survive the fight if we get into it. But we don't need to have all the crap. Understand? Yes. Okay. So, yeah, this kind of setup, this rig would be fine for, working around the garden, working around your property. I can work all day in this. It doesn't inhibit movement at all and stuff like that. With a Freedom Seed dispensing device, it might, have some stuff into play, but I can stow that on my back. Going patrolling, hiking your property, the ability to stay light and maneuverable is very important in certain situations. If you're in a really urban, built-up area, very, very high threat, and you're preparing for mass chaos event, well then you probably want a little more than this. You probably want plates. You may want a helmet. Base your kit off of your needs and experiment with it, practice with it, but mostly train with it. Train, 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 train. Use your gear, get to know it like the back of your hand. You should never have to look down at your belt to get anything that you need in a life and death situation. Right? Admin pouch, stuff like that is different. IFAK, both hands. Make sure you can reach it with both hands. See? Both hands. That's key. And your IFAK is for use on you, no one else. Use their IFAK on them. But anyway, I hope you guys liked the video. Something I wanted to cover, I wanted to talk about. And remember, like I said, this is my setup. It may not work for you. Do what works for you, but to find out what works for you, you got to get out there and train. You got to get out there and do the things. You got to be mobile. You got to be running around. Put on your stuff and run through the woods on some trail or something like that. Run around. At least get on your treadmill if you have to and run a bunch in it. Can you run? How far can you run with that much gear on? It's very important to have a lightweight option. Anyway, stay safe. Be ready to protect you and yours. I love you guys. Have a wonderful day and blessings to you and yours.